Hey everyone, it's Jamie from Independent Street NOLA, and I'm here to talk about the new moon that's happening tomorrow on March 2nd at 11:35 a.m. Central Standard Time, and that's when it will be at its peak. It is Mardi Gras here in New Orleans. It is Fat Tuesday, so I am going to get ready to go out and see my friends, some who have just woken up, some who've been up since sunrise, and some who've probably been up since yesterday. Runs the gambit. So to get us started, Francis is going to be drinking some water. And then I am going to jump right into this reading. So we have a lot of conjunctions going on with this new moon. It's the new moon in Pisces. And we've been talking about Pisces energy, the age of Pisces and all that low vibrational energy. And to me, the entire season, Pisces season, is about removing those lower energies. And I find it so interesting how fast the earth is adjusting. And even though, we've seen it happening over the past few years, and then 2020 hit when those big conjunctions happened, and then 2021 with all the conjunctions, but that was signaling the age of Aquarius. But now that we're in it, it's amazing to me how fast this energy is wanting to leave the planet. And it's important for us to remember that, especially when old scenarios start coming up, like what's going on in other places that's not in America. And I'm trying not to say the names because I don't want to get this flagged by social media stuff. So you guys know what I'm talking about. It's not happening here. It's happening over there with other people that starts with an R and a U. And so it's very important to know this, that there are probably powers, or probably powers that run this planet, or that have been running the planet, that want to keep things the same. And one of the ways they can keep things the same is like keeping us in fear and in duality. So it's really important for you guys to remember that when these things start happening again, okay? And so one way that you can keep yourself out of that is disengaging, okay? And which is so interesting because this entire new moon is all about disengagement. Now, that doesn't mean to put your head in the sand and act like nothing's going on, but what it means is actively disengaging in old stories, disengaging in duality, disengaging in good guys and bad guys, and honestly disengaging in social media, which I know it's funny for me to say because I do post this stuff on forms of social media. But it's just important for us to realize how much time we do engage, and how much time that we do need to disengage, okay? Because that's taking over. That disengagement is saying that we are sovereign, that we can make our own ideas, that we are okay with who we are. So that was kind of that was important to get out, okay? So it's important to disengage, okay? So let's talk about how we can use this new moon to help us disengage with many, many things. So as we know, when it's a new moon, the sun and the moon are together, and they're going to be together at 12 degrees of Pisces. So what's interesting about this new moon is that this Pisces is ruled by Neptune. That's its modern ruler. Its ancient ruler was Jupiter. And the sun and the moon are going to be conjunct Jupiter this new moon, okay? And Jupiter is going to be at 14 degrees of Pisces, okay? So Jupiter and then the sun and moon. So Jupiter is out front of the sun and moon. And to me, that's signaling that Jupiter, which is, the planet of faith and trusting in oneself, but really that idea of faith is already moved through these degrees. And so the fact that it's already moved through these degrees, to me, is opening. It's making space. It's opening for us to move into where we need to go. And Jupiter is expansion. Jupiter is luck. And so the fact that it's in Pisces, to me, it's clearing out all those old lower vibrations of Pisces and bringing us into the new vibrations of Pisces. What's also happening if you guys remember, because we've been talking about it for a long time, or a few weeks, Mars and Venus are still conjunct in Capricorn. And Capricorn is how we show up in the world, right? And so Mars and Venus conjunct, those are our divine sides, and they have been having this deep conversation with Pluto, because Pluto has been zapping them. Let me see, how do I write this? Pluto, yeah, they're still conjunct Pluto too. I was just making sure they're still conjunct Pluto. And so Pluto has been zapping them, reworking them. You know, Pluto is transformation, and Pluto is about making space. What's also very interesting, which did come to me yesterday, is that, you know, I don't know why I didn't think about this before, but Pluto is also grounding, okay? Because, you know, Pluto is, quote unquote, the underworld, or so Pluto is also grounding in this new way of us to be in our divine selves, okay? But Pluto is also making space. It's also, you know, transforming and transmuting all those ideas that we had about ourselves, and now it's helping make space and ground into us new ways to see ourselves moving forward. What's interesting is that Mars is more comfortable in Capricorn, and Venus is not as, I don't like to say when planets are in their detriment, because I just don't believe that, but she's been there a long time. It's not like it's closest to her home, so she's been a guest in Capricorn for a long time, because remember, she was retrograde, and now she's going forward. And so this is a good time for her to kind of lean on her Mars, right, to get her, to keep helping her move this, while she starts to go through, while she lets Pluto transform. The left side of our brain, you guys, is logic, right, which is so interesting, because the left side of our body is the feminine, which is receiving. And so moving into this age of Aquarius, where we are starting to fall into, you know, move into our hearts, it's important to let the logical side of our brains get reworked, to let things go, to not always be so planned, which is interesting, because Mercury is still conjunct Saturn in Aquarius, okay? So what we're doing is which you would think this would all be backwards, but we're getting rid of that rigidity of being, things have to be a certain way with this new moon in Pisces, right? We're allowing our divine sides to get into balance. The sun and the moon, new moon, sun and the Venus, Mars, Capricorn, Pluto, right? So we're getting a new way of how we're showing up. We're getting a new way with how we communicate, right? That is Mercury in Aquarius. Mercury conjunct Saturn in Aquarius, and that's important because I think what's coming in is just this idea of abundance, right? And how much we can do when we are stable, and how much we can do when we do have boundaries, because Saturn is stability and Saturn is boundaries, right? And so because we are becoming more stable and more in balance with ourselves and showing up differently in the world, we're showing up differently to ourselves, we're communicating this differently to ourselves and to the world. This new moon is creating so much space because we're disengaging with all the old stories that no longer resonate, not even sort of resonate, like no longer resonate with who we are. And it's important for us to really ground in these new ideas of ourselves, and to allow them to keep unfolding, which is so beautiful, right? Because Jupiter is faith, and you know, you can't quote unquote see faith, you can just feel it, and you know when you're walking in it, okay? So I think I'm going to leave it there. I was afraid this video was going to go crazy into 20-minute outer space. I will say, I will touch on this. Pisces is the alpha and the omega, right? And so it's important to say or see or feel or understand, or however you want to get it, that yes, things are falling away and opening up all at the same time. And that can happen. I pulled 2 cards for this moon, and it was mystery, actually for kind of Pisces season, and it was mystery and regenerate. And then what was interesting was on the bottom of the deck was sustain. So just allow that mystery of why are things falling away? Why do I feel better? I mean, just allow it to happen. I can give you all the reasons, like with the planets and stuff, but just allow things to go away. Allow things to regenerate. Allow things to open up. Allow things to be a new story. I can't remember someone who goes down and sees Pluto and Persephone to bring his girlfriend back, right? And he goes down there and he plays music and he makes Pluto cry. And so he's able to bring his girlfriend back, but the whole time when he's bringing her back up to the surface, they said you can't turn around and look at her, right? Because the mystery of regeneration, in a way, is just still the mystery. So just allow it to happen, you guys. Just allow it to happen and really enjoy this new moon. Plant those seeds. You know, it is in Neptune, it is in Pisces. Dream. Remember to dream again. Like, say, okay, yeah, I do want world peace. Okay, I do want these things. Write it down. This is the time to do it. It's time to dig in and ground into ourselves, that we are extremely powerful co-creators. Okay, I feel good. I'm gonna go slap some glitter on and go dance in the streets. And I suggest you do the same. Today, tomorrow, the rest of the month. Okay. So this is a big month. I'll probably check back in with more things astrologically, but I hope you guys do have a beautiful new moon and a happy Mardi Gras.